All smiles in the tunnel here at the Etihad as full time for our first game in our League Cup defence finishes Manchester City 6, Wycombe Wanderers 1. What a game. So many things for us to get into, and here to help me do just that are the legends in the form of Paul Dickov and Michael Brown. Paul, we thought the first half was great, and second half they just went out and did the same.
Yeah, it had a fantastic performance. Just talking just before the end of the game, they're saying 7 teenagers on the pitch today at any point. So it just shows you the fruition of the academy that we've got here, how the players are getting brought through. But some of the football they played was fantastic. Wycombe gave everything they had, but it's how positive these young kids are. Whether it was McAtee when he came on, Cole Palmer, or the players that started the game, they're so positive in everything that they do. Technical ability, fantastic, but great mentality at the same time as well.
And Brown, you were the commentary with Alistair Mann. Is it how good they were? Because you can't underestimate Wycombe, a League One team, but or is it a credit to those young players for actually going there and, well, more or less as a team? Of course, you have Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, but given the performance they did, I thought they'd hold up well against a Championship, if not a Premier League team at times.
I think you've got to give credit all around the pitch. As I've said, the senior players, the example first and foremost. The recovery runs right at the end. From Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
That just tells you the example that they set, and that's what you're following. And the young players then grew into the game. I felt like they got better and better. The scoreline helps, but they've seen Wycombe off very, very comfortable. And at the end, we talked about desire. McAtee gets on the ball, as you said, he tried to make something happen, and to end like that with Cole Palmer, it was fabulous display. I think everybody delighted. That dressing room would be buzzing down there.
I was just going to say, we were speaking before of the game about what the feelings would have been coming into the game as a young player. A lot of debuts were there on show tonight. Now afterwards, does that just give them that little bit more of a hunger to be like, I want a little bit more of this?
They want more of that every single week, and I think, every one of them have probably put, not a question mark into Pep's head, but put a marker down to him to say that they can come out against a team that's physical. And people keep saying it's Wycombe, it's League One. You've got to beat what's up against you. How many times do you see shocks, especially in the Carabao Cup, when teams do put kids out, when they do put weaker teams out? The underdogs seem to come through, but I know Wycombe went one up, but it was never in doubt tonight. And as I said, Brown hits the nail on the head. The senior players were fantastic as well. Because it's hard, isn't it?
We've been there where you're picked in a team with youngsters, and everyone else has got the day off. And I know this is the top level, but you can be almost, is it me? Have I done an hour? Can I get off now?
You get to 60 odd minutes. Yeah. You get to 60 minutes sometimes. You're looking at the bench, say, all right, then Gaffer, we're 3-4-1 up. Take me off now. That wasn't happening. But they really drove the young kids on.
Yeah.
But the kids, to be fair to them, really reacted to that and really stepped up. We said at half time, is it going to be more of the same, or are they going to step up a bit? I thought that, to a man, it's easier when you're 3-1 up as the game goes on.
For sure.
But to a man, all 7 of them that were on the pitch at the end there really took the game up.
Really, and consummate professionals as well, like you're saying. How important, Brownie, obviously you've got the coach and you've got the academy facilities, but how important is it for the young players having those seniors players around, not just on the pitch, but training with them in the dressing room? You've been there yourself.
I think it's so important for the football club, and I think it tells you all the way. I took my boy down to the under-12s, and the level they're at is incredible. Wow. I can't tell you, my boy plays for Burnley, they couldn't get anywhere near them. And it just sets a tone that you're in the right place and that there's a pathway. So straight away, the academies up to 18s, up to 21s, straight away these players have given even more belief that there's a pathway to stay at Manchester City, that they're going to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because before that, you actually think it might not be there.
Absolutely.
And I think straight away, all of the academy tomorrow, there'll be a real buzz about the place. We've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in.
Phil Foden's been a catalyst for that as well. The players that are on the pitch tonight, they would have looked at Phil a couple of years ago and thought, wow, as good as he was, and he always has been as a kid, some of these kids that are coming through now at that age are just as good as what they were. And what it does as well, the kids that are now under 14, 15 and under 16s, they're looking at the lads that have played tonight and thinking, do you know what, we can get a chance here. And I think we said it before at the start of the show at half time, talking about how it would take time for the academy to build for 10 years. The kids in the pitch tonight when the academy opened would have been 8 or 9 years old. So they've had that 10 years going through, but it's the ones beneath that now that are going to have a real chance. And it's going to be quite talking about the last 10 years. Look at the next 10 years for these kids that are constantly coming through all the time. And it just shows you that the money that's been invested in the academy has been fantastic.
It really, oh gosh, it's exciting times. Let's get into the action. We could talk about wax superlative about, I think, every young player on the pitch tonight who gave a great account of themselves. And I will again one more time for the Wycombe fans fans that are just leaving. It was a great turnout for them. Obviously not the result they wanted, but so great to see so many at the Etihad. Ferran Torres' goal. For me, Brownie, at times it seemed like he was a little bit quiet. But this is what he does. You kind of don't think he's involved, and then he pops up with a goal. Yeah,
you feel like he's not going to get that opportunity. There's a couple of occasions, wasn't there? You're thinking, where is he? Is he going to fall to him? It just wasn't there. But you'd have been delighted, wouldn't you? Right across the box, going, yes, thank you very much. You can see it. It's flat. The ball's just rolling across the grass. You just come up against it, side foot it in. So it'll give him confidence. Another strike, and there was lots of good movement like that, wasn't there? Where they were creating opportunities, and Raheem Sterling worked so hard. You think he could have been rewarded a little bit more today?
Yeah, and bringing it on to Raheem Sterling, I think he kind of got the assist, I think, for the Mahrez goal when it was the rollback. And, I mean, that is vintage Sterling at his best, is when people talk about, and I hear you guys say it all the time, about his movement off the ball. Obviously, De Bruyne playing the pass, though, and then that is vintage City and vintage Sterling.
Absolutely, but it was like a carbon copy of the goal that Torres scored. You know, the little De Bruyne, a little ball down the side. It was Foden for Torres' goal this time. Raheem makes so many fantastic runs in that sort of, whether it's inside right or inside left channel, and then got his head up back to Mahrez. And you know, the best way to finish them is to let it hit your ankle into the ground and miskick it into the corner. but you'll take that. You know, Riyad 2 goals again tonight. Yeah,
and very close enough as well to getting a hat trick. I think he hit the woodwork in the first half, and then Michael Brown, talk to me about Cole Palmer. Only came on, of course, for the last 20 minutes. So happy to see him. I knew you were excited to see him, and that was the reason why, wasn't it?
I was excited, and I felt like I thought he would have started, but I understand why he hasn't when you see the senior players that Pep's put out there. But ultimately, he got that little sort of instinct, didn't he, of getting forward, and he tried to do those little turns in the box. Fabulous Cruyff turns after McAtee tried to get that shot away. And I felt, he might not get that goal again. There was actually an open goal for a minute or so that he didn't take. He didn't see it with his right foot. And I thought, there you go, he might have missed the chance. But to take the ball from the halfway line, and he just went at it, didn't he? He waited for it to open up and just used the left foot, guide it round, and to go and celebrate. And I think what was really nice for me watching it was Kevin De Bruyne just clapping to the sky, and you could sort of see the smile from miles back in the stand, that he was so delighted for him as he went to slide across the grass.
Fantastic. And as well, I guess for his confidence as well now, you know, kind of he's obviously in the first team setup, and of course, you know, like we've seen, he's going to come bit by bit, but to score a goal like that now, I guess that can really kind of maybe springboard him to start kind of coming into his own.
I think so, and I think the more opportunities he's get, it's just difficult to get in the team. So, like, obviously the Carabao Cup, if the draw's nice again, he gets some more minutes. The league games are very difficult at the moment because of the players in front of him. Yeah. So it's not always there, that pathway. But I think he's going to get some games. I think he's so exciting, and you know, he's one to watch, and I just really like him.
Just going back on Brownie's point there, I think it was a really good point about Kevin De Bruyne sort of clapping. But what you feel like the hardest thing to do, and we both know this, Brownie, is when you're a young player coming through, is getting the acceptance of the senior lads. Because if you're not quite at that level, you know, I remember being at Arsenal as a kid, Brownie would have been the same. When you join the first team, if they don't trust you and you're not accepted, they'll look at you. Yeah. And they won't give you the ball, they'll go somewhere else. You know, and through seeing training sessions over the years, and especially tonight, the senior lads really trust the young kids that are on the team because they know they're good enough. Yeah. And that itself gives them the confidence to go out and play as they did tonight.
I think Cole Palmer is there. I think the players are starting to look, and a few of them are going, he's the real deal. Yeah. He's winning them. He's winning over a few of them, and I think with that there, he'll just obviously accelerate.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, speaking of Cole Palmer, we can now hear from the man himself. This is our final goal scorer, that beautiful goal, run from the halfway line. Cole Palmer speaking at full time.
Cole, an emphatic win tonight, your first Manchester City goal. Can you put into words how you're feeling?
Oh, I'm over the moon. To be honest, that's the best feeling I've probably ever had, to be honest. When I see it going there, the fans, that's why we work as we're little kids, and obviously I've got to keep going now, get more opportunities, and obviously try to have moments like that again. 5
debutants in the starting 11 tonight. What does it say about the manager that he's prepared to put his faith in the young players?
Yeah, obviously the managers trust us, so we trust him back, obviously, and you can see on the training pitch how many of them others train with him, and to get the opportunity tonight, not just for me and for all the other boys, we're delighted.
And this competition has been a big stepping stone for the likes of Phil Foden. Do you look up to him and what he's achieved and gone on to achieve, having made his mark initially through this competition?
Yeah, of course it gives you inspiration seeing someone who's come from the academy like myself and go all the way through to the first team. So I don't see why I can't do it, and hopefully I can go on and do it.
And this competition's been pretty special, hasn't it, for this club? Can you do it
Yeah.
again? Can you make it 5 in a row?
Hopefully, yeah. We just got to keep working every day on a training pitch, and hopefully we can put into the games what we do on a training pitch.
Well done tonight. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Absolutely buzzing. That's Cole Palmer there speaking at full time. And I tell you what, not only can you feel the excitement and the buzz of him, but I love hearing that Mancunian accent. Proper Wivenshaw, really, Paul. That's what we love.
He is, and it's great to see. You know, I've seen a couple of interviews with him before, and we're saying as we're watching it, he's usually quite subdued and a little bit shy. You can tell how much he's buzzing off that goal. Not just the goal, but his performance when he came on tonight.
Yeah.
And look, we said a few years ago when we seen Phil Foden coming through, Brown, he said already he's there. He's there now, and you know he's got potential to go and be a superstar for years and years to come.
Well, let's have a look at a few other players that might have potential to become superstars. I wanted to ask you both. I mean, of course, Phil Foden, man of the match, and we'll come to him in a second. But of the young players on the pitch, and I feel tonight it's about these young players who got the debut. Who was a standout one for you tonight, Michael?
I think Pep Guardiola's reaction, Wilson Esbrand, as he took him off. He's clapping above his head, just as Kevin De Bruyne does. And you often see that with Pep Guardiola. It's a bit more reserved, well done, and he went and grabbed him. I think that tells you something. And so is the left-back position somewhere that there might be a better pathway at the moment in the football club? You know, there's certain places that you sort of go, Cole Palmer, we mentioned, and go, well, it looks a little bit different. You know, it looks a bit difficult. But is that one position that he might get a couple of games throughout the season? So he was one to watch. I thought the two boys at centre-back did well at times. I think they had the challenges late on getting rolled that he didn't need to do, and just teaches them something different when the physical strength's different to the games that they've been used to. So I think it was a good turnout from everybody.
For me, Wilson Esbrand was the one. I thought he looked, you know, I've seen him a couple of times before, but tonight he looked really comfortable being in the company that he was in. And, you know, Brownie's right, you know, left back as a position, there might be an easier pathway to go in at the minute, and he looks as if he's ready.
Yeah.
You know, he looks as if he's ready already. He's quick, he's strong, he can tackle. We've seen the
great awareness.
The assist for Riyad Mahrez' goal, that his awareness is there. And he looks to have the full package to be a left back, especially the way Man City play.
Yeah, there was. And I'm picking up off the centre halves. If you weren't here in the stadium, you want to see, but there was a great moment as they were coming out the tunnel. You had Ruben Diaz deep in conversation with Luke and Bete all the way to the pitch, which I think is great to see. And even now, actually, you can just see the five kind of young lads that have all been on the pitch. They're still just stood together. Actually, I think with Gareth Taylor by the looks of it down there, possibly, or one of the coaches, but maybe just soaking in what has been a brilliant evening. I'd also like to shout out my man, because I'm seen him at the Academy Stadium in the pre-season. He must have thought I must have won a competition to be there. But Romeo Lavia, I think we know just how important that kind of role is in a Pep Guardiola team. And, you know, of course, there's always room for improvement. Brownie, you know, the centre midfielder role well. I felt he gave a great account of himself today.
He did. He got in some good positions, some good tackles, breaking it up, physical when he needed to be. Obviously, the yellow card, and he made that challenge, and you're thinking, is he going to get into a little bit of trouble? He didn't. He came out of that, and he then stayed and realised he didn't need to make a challenge. It was comfortable, the game, and I thought he did well.
Just on that, Brown, I mean, I'm sitting watching it, and I'm thinking he might have to take him off here. But do you think Pep's kept him on to see how he manages the game after that?
Interesting.
To maybe test
Possibly,
him a little bit?
and I think you look at the score, it was comfortable, so it wasn't as tight where if the 10 men come into play, if he was to do it. But if you look at the challenge, you know, it wasn't as bad as you first thought when you seen that replay. So
he's tripped him over the ball, more than anything else.
Let's give one word as well then to our man of the match and the midfield maestro performance of Mr. Phil Foden. I mean, he was the one not only loving it out there, but he was absolutely everywhere, dictating, you know, the passage of play, the pace of play. I mean, we could probably go on all night about how great he was out there today, Paul.
Yeah, he's just outstanding, isn't he? He's an outstanding footballer, full stop. I think the biggest plus for me tonight is, after him being out injured, is to see him getting 90 minutes under his belt and looking super fit at the same time. But to put in the performance, I mean, you've actually got to feel sorry for some of the Wycombe boys, because they give everything they had.
Do you know his touch over the goal?
Ridiculous.
He saw the outside of his foot, and I'm thinking, really?
But his vision, you know, he's got everything. He's got everything, and people say he's the next best thing to come through. I keep saying it. He's there now. He's at the top world class level now. And the more games, as I said, you know, it's been unfortunate he's missed the start of the season after the injury with England in the summer. But to see him get 90 minutes and look really, really strong with that as well tonight, especially with the games we've got coming up, is fantastic.
Well, let's get to that, Paul. Of course, that's us now. We continue in the League Cup. We continue our defence. Can we make it 5 years in a row? Well, the season will tell us that. But next up, it's just the small matter of a game at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea come the weekend. It's the early kickoff on Saturday. I'm going to be there in the away end, so if anyone's there with me, we'll be giving it as well. I think you'll be going off, to say the least. But one of the biggest tests we're going to have this season, and obviously a big reaction after that Southampton result, Brownie.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game. It's how they react, obviously, psychologically towards the end of the season. Playing Chelsea, it didn't come off as well as we would have liked it. And I think Chelsea signing Lukaku, I think it's given them a big lift. They seem very, very confident. I was at the game last week against Aston Villa, and they had sort of 8 changes. And they come across very, very well. They're still seeing out their jobs, their roles, their responsibilities, and they look really slick. So I think they're playing with full confidence. I think it's going to be a tough game. And I'm interested to see how Pep Guardiola goes up against him this time, whether the setup's different. And because, as you say, they just have a little psychological edge because of the ending. And this is top game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Because I mean, they have won the last 3 games against us as well. Not forgetting as well, they were the ones to knock us out the FA Cup.
Yeah, but I think
well.
you look at some of those there. I think the changes, wasn't it? I think Pep Guardiola was forced to make changes in several of those games, which allowed that. But I think notably
the FA Cup game, there was eyes on the bigger prize.
For sure.
You know, the league game here, we should have won it. We lost it in the last couple of minutes.
The penalty.
The league was already won.
Yeah.
So there is that little bit. But seeing how the City players and Pep react on Saturday, I'm really looking forward to it. It's the first time in a long time people will have City as the underdogs and probably Chelsea as the favourites. And I think the players down there will thrive in that because they're serial winners. The manager's a serial winner. And I think in the team talk leading up to it, I think that could be used a little bit, saying, hey, look, these guys are now favourites. Yeah. Let's go out there and show them how good we are.
Absolutely. Well, we'll, of course, be bringing you all the pre-match build-up to that game on Saturday. Matchday live. It will be live from 11:30. Before we wrap up here in the studio today at the Etihad, let's hear from our manager, Pep Guardiola. I'm sure he's very happy with the youth that was on display tonight.
Pep, congratulations. Was the most satisfying aspect of that result tonight the performance of those young players who you gave debuts to?
Now, all of them, they play honestly really well. So, being supported for the professional guys up front, but the back four, a holding midfielder, important position. So, just for the academy. So, it's a big compliment, not just to them, compliment to Jason Wilcox, the chief, the boss of the academy, and all the managers they have. Rana, Brian, but especially last season with Enzo Maresca, they make an outstanding job with Carlos, the guy who is with us in the backroom staffs and our staff. So it's a big compliment to them. So at the end, we can enjoy them because they have a lot of work behind. And the most important thing, I know them quite well because they train every day with us. A part of they have a great perspective as a football players. They are incredible, well-educated men. So I'm pretty sure the families, but especially being here in the club, the incredible, great values we give them, they take it, and they are a very nice guys. And I think if they continue working hard, at the end, always pay off. And they can make a long careers here maybe, or in other high levels in other place.
I'm sure you would have preferred not to have conceded tonight, but on the reverse side, were you keen to see how they reacted having gone a goal down?
Yes, but we were playing good, so we spent maybe 5 minutes to take the game, but after we were playing good in set pieces where they are stronger than us, and we didn't defend well because George stayed there under the line when he should leave, but it's happened. So they are young guys, young lads, but how they focus, they have is one of those nights that as a manager I enjoy a lot, and I'm privileged to live that, to give them the opportunity, how focused they are, how concentrate. They have their future ahead of them. You know that they want to take it. They want to, when after they became a professionals, always demand, always they said, oh, this is my position, I want to defend. They don't demand anything. They want to do it. They want to, and I was pretty sure they were concentrated and again, thank you so much for the people coming today, and I'm pretty sure they enjoy a lot because I'm sure our fans, see the players for the academy when they are young, grew up, and today is most of them play the first official game in front of our stadium with their people. That is so nice. It's so nice. So maybe in the future. So I think we have an incredible good generation of young players in our team, and maybe in the future will be part important like Phil Foden is. So it depends on them.
Final one from me. You've had a great record, obviously, in this competition in the past.
Well,
it could be a record 9th time for this club to win it. Is that an extra motivation this time around for this club?
When we start this competition, always, you know, we have many injuries that give us opportunity for the academy. So, and never we thought we have. Of course, it's winning 4 times in a row and still being in competition is because something exceptional. So, and like we won many times, now the clubs are focused to try to do it. So, yeah, it's nice. I don't know what's going to happen now. Now it's focused in the big week we have ahead of us, and yeah, continue to do it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
A very happy Pep Guardiola, and honestly, we were just saying the lads are still sat on the pitch. It must be so great. We're actually grabbing a little selfie now to the left of the interview there. But what a moment for those boys, and definitely the fans loved getting a little sneak peek at what is to come here at Manchester City. Paul Dickov and Michael Brown in the studio. There it is. There's the selfie. Now, before we wrap up, I'm just going to put a couple of your questions to our guests because you've been sending them in on the WhatsApp. Thank you so much for that. Remember, this show is for you. This one is for you, Paul, from Critch, who says, "How do you reckon you'd get on wrestling Akinfenwa?"
Not a problem, mate. Not a problem at all.
You'd have a go, wouldn't you?
I would have a go. I'm not saying how far I would get far, but I would have a right good go. Don't worry about that.
No, but we're never in doubt. This was a question that I enjoyed from Pranav, and it says, Luke and Bette's work all around the pitch, presence, physicality, standing tackle, almost reminded me of Vincent Kompany. Can you see the parallel? That is from Pranav from Canada.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. Vincent Kompany, you're exactly like Vincent Kompany, but don't worry about it. That was a strong commanding performance, wasn't it? And you know, he's shown some good attributes as a defender, and there's a long way to go. I think, as Pep said there, he's delighted how they all are around the place, how they're maturing, and that's what's really nice as well. So, long way to go, but
I think the biggest thing, especially, you know, a lot of things get thrown at young Premier League players and youngsters coming through academies. You know, the big thing for that Pep said, they're good people. Yeah. Good people, and that goes so far, especially with the way the fabric of Manchester City is now.
Absolutely, and you'll both know as well, that isn't just, I mean, it's down to them and the families, but a lot of work goes into that as well with behind the scenes here from City staff. Right, final thing for us to do here before we wrap up is to take a look at Cryptic City. We've had a couple guesses come in, and it was funny. Ian on Twitter says, us oldies knew who the last picture was, but we needed a clue for the other two. Well, the other one there is the Edge, and I don't think you need to know the first person. That was just more of a general clue. But we had Etta in Toronto got it right. We had Ian get it right. We had Richard get it right. We also had Michael Dagley get it right. Shout out to my dad John, he got it right. Paul Dickov got it here in the studio. So Paul, straight away.
It's the Edgy, Richard Edghill.
Richard Edghill is indeed. So there it is. If you're rich, the head, I'm guessing hard hat. Yeah, Rich Hard. Edge Hill. There we go. So we'll have another one of them for you on Saturday. Remember, 11:30 is the place today for Matchday Live ahead of our game against Chelsea. 12:30 kickoff. A massive thank you to my guests in the studio this week, Mr. Paul Dickov and Michael Brown. And of course, all the admiration and thanks to you guys at home for watching and tuning in. Come join us again on Saturday. Until then, though, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.
Once again, it's Manchester City against Chelsea. Oh, that is majestic! Now Rustler, absolute center from Kevin De Bruyne. There is no stopping that. Chelsea's Frank Lampard, or is he? Torres, beautiful. Manchester City are Carabao Cup champions. Brilliantly done by Didier Drogba. Nasri, the title race is back on. Gundogan's on the twist and scoring a truly super goal. Chelsea, Champions League winners.
Sensational six for Manchester City.
Mourinho's first defeat as Chelsea lost. Massive win for Manchester City.